Hey, welcome to my menu plan and grocery haul. I don't think I normally give y'all an intro, but I gotta tell y'all something today. Can't wait. I gotta tell it to you fresh. I just took Sebastian home. I got, knock on wood, 3 days off. As long as our day doesn't get called in on Saturday, so try not to call it up. But anyway, I was on my way to Harris Teeter, and there is this, used to be country. It just used to be pure country. One little 2-lane road went through there, and now it is 2 lanes on either side and a big old median in the middle. And it is a gateway from the interstate to my town, and there is a main road. The one that y'all hear traffic on behind me, that's a cut through that gets us into Kannapolis. Well, it is a known area for drug runners. I mean, they catch them all the time. That's why they set up traps, because they're coming right off the interstate, and I guess they think they're going to sneak on through sleepy little K-Town, and it don't happen all the time. Well, anyway, I'm headed to Harris Teeter that way. There's all kind of police cars on the side of the road headed towards, Kannapolis. I'm like, oh Lord, they must be hot and heavy on the speeders today. So I was checking myself. Wasn't none on my side, but that don't mean they don't like that. Normally go on one side, go up and turn around. They hit this side, and they turn around, hit the other side. So I'm like, they're not getting me today for no speeding. Ain't no warrants out for my arrest. Ain't got no kind of tickets, no nothing like that. So I'm like, I'm cool. Well, I get on down the road. There's still more of them pulled. There's a wrecker sitting over there, and one's behind him. Well, I get on to Harris Teeter, get my groceries, come on down the road, and I'm telling you, the cops were swarming. There had to be, on that road, a dozen cops in all kind of vehicles. I mean, little passenger cars, motorcycle, SUVs, some other kind of weirdo looking car, and the wrecker was still there. I didn't think a thing about it. Now, I know, because I did not fall off the turnip truck yesterday, that there is a move over law in North Carolina. All the states may have it, I don't know, but I know North Carolina does. If there is an emergency vehicle on the shoulder, you have to move over in the next lane if you can. Okay, so I know that. I'm coming up on them with the police car. I look behind me and in my rearview mirror, and there's cars over there because we're on 2 lanes. I couldn't get over, so I go on by. Next thing I know, the blue lights come up behind me. I'm like, I am not speeding. What's his deal? So I put my signal on to pull over, and he goes on around me. I was like, whew. I knew it wasn't me. Listen, he pulled the vehicle that was in front of me. When he pulled him, he parked his nose out into the lane, opened his car, jumped out, and starts, no joke, telling me, I'm sorry, my hand's up there, stop. I'm like, stop it. So I stopped. He pulled the dude up there first. So he goes up to him first, and I go ahead and pull out my license and my registration. I'm just sitting there, and obviously he's on the inside door. So he started coming up to me, and hold on, I just got in. I got to have some coffee. He come up. He goes, I handed him my stuff. He goes, do you know why I pulled you over? I said, no, sir, I do not. He goes, you failed to move over from the emergency vehicle down there. I said, honestly, I checked my mirror. I said, there were vehicles over there, and I couldn't go, so I just stayed in that lane. He goes, you can't do that. He said, you did not even show an attempt to move. He said, the law is you have to put on your blinker, slow down, and prove or show that you're making an attempt to get in the left lane to get away from them. Otherwise, you can get a ticket and get fined. It was $450 some. He said, but we're having an education day. This is an education program we're running today to educate our citizens. I'm like, well, I honestly did not know. I said, I promise you, I did not know that. So he says, took my license and registration. He goes, let me go and check a few things. I'm like, we're going up there. You ain't gonna find no warrants on me. I didn't tell him that. He was very nice. He was very nice. And look, I'll show you. Well, he was up there a good little bit, and cars were just coming by. The police cars was just, I'm telling you, there had to be a dozen of them, pulling people left and freaking right. that side of the road was littered with blue lights. It was insane. And the dude pulling two of us at a time, boy, got skills. Okay. So he went up and talked to the vehicle in front of me. He was up there a good little bit. But he come back and he said, explained it to me again. And he said, I appreciate your patience, he said, and being so cooperative about this. I said, well, listen, I'm fine with it, because now I learned something. He said, well, that's why I took so long, because the one up there was not very cooperative. I'm like, okay. And David's like, well, I wouldn't have been either. I said, yes, you would have, because he'd have given you a ticket. He said, that's you know what? I said, well, he's the police. I guess he knows the law. He says, well, I know he knows the law, but that's bullcrap. So he's standing there. He hands me back my thing. He had this piece of paper. He had this piece of paper folded up. He goes, this is what's going to happen. He pulled it up. He goes, this is a warning. Look right here. Can you read it? Is it blurry? Failed to move over for emergency vehicle. Warning. He said, from now on, you do that. Put on your signal. Slow down. I said, you better know. I'll watch every vehicle from here to my house. Let me just tell you. When I tell you that there were vehicles on both sides, they were on the shoulder and they were in the median. When I went through, it was like going, those marble games where you have to like pinball, and you have to like do them through the maze. I was like a marble going through a maze. I went in there for him to go, and he sat down. I'm like, okay, well, he's probably got things to do, so I pulled around him, and then there's one in the shoulder. So when I pulled around him, then I had to go right back, put my signal on, slowed down, went right back in this lane. I kid you not, as soon as I got in this lane, there's one on the shoulders. I had to put my signal on, go back into this lane, slow down, come up there. There is another one on the shoulder. I had to put my signal on, slow down, go back around. There is another one on the shoulder, and that was the last one. So when I come up and got around him, I boogity onto the house. I could not believe. Oh my gosh. So instead of sending out a memo, they put us through the school of hard knocks. They say some people learn the hard way. Well, I learned the hard way today. You better know. Homegirl gonna be signaling, slowing down from now on. So if you live in North Carolina, that is the law. If it don't even matter if it's he said police car, tow truck, electric truck, like the power trucks, the vehicles, police vehicles, fire vehicles, don't matter. Any of those kind of vehicles, at least 12 feet from the road, you have to do it for those. So it's really good to know, because that little bit of education taught me something that I didn't know, and that I will know from now on to save me $400 and something in a ticket. So I just thought y'all might enjoy my excitement for the afternoon. So now we're just going to start with the boring old menu and grocery haul. Okay, let's get started on this menu. You will hear Blippi in the background, so that's better than Sebastian running around screaming his head off. So today I'm going to my Friday spaghetti and some garlic bread. Saturday, our eat out day. Sunday, for prep day, I'm going to make some creamy crock pot chicken, which is just my creamy chicken soup that I make, and just cook it in that. David really likes it, and it turns out really good. And I'm just going to serve that over some noodles. And then Monday, I still have some pork loins in the freezer, and I'm going to bake one of those and put it over some cream potatoes and have some greens. Then Tuesday, I'm going to have some grilled chicken cutlets, the thin ones, which I'm just going to put them in my grill pan, not the actual grill. And then I'm going to throw some okra in the oven and some corn. Wednesday, hamburger steak, because sometimes David wants something to put A1 on. He's just like, I need something to put some A1 on. And then baked potatoes and green beans. And Thursday's going to be a new recipe for crock pot lasagna soup. So I'm anxious to see how that turns out. Now, for my meal prep this week, I finished everything and I was done. I was so happy that I finally got it done. And I was talking to Tracy over Trials of Long Hair Girl, and she mentioned breakfast. I said, oh, I forgot to decide on a meal prep for breakfast, so I just didn't even bother with it. I'm going to just do breakfast sandwiches because I still have a pack of those sandwich thins or some hot cereal, either one. Now, for lunch, I'm going to try 2 new recipes, so if they're not good, I'm sunk. It's some baked chicken tacos, which I'm going to actually keep in the freezer, and then potato and leek soup. So that is it for the week. Next up will be the grocery hauls. So our first groceries are from Food Line, and half and half. Half is ours and half is party. So, of course, we got the coffee creamer and David's juice, and the typical offenders of the yogurt world. The same ones we just play over and over because those are his favorites. Now, I had to get a bunch of meat this week because our freezer is empty. There's some pork in there, and pretty much that's it. So I got hamburger meat. I do have one in the freezer, but I'm making lasagna soup and spaghetti and hamburger steak. So we're having hamburger 3 times this week. Then for the chicken, and this is my favorite, this Nature's Promise. It just tastes the best because y'all know I told you how funny my taste buds are going. And I can only find this at Food Line. That's the only store around here I can find it at. And I wanted the thin cutlets for our grilled chicken. They didn't have it, so I told them it was okay to substitute this. So we're having the grilled cutlets for chicken. We're having, I'm trying to look up there and see what I can see. The creamy crock pot chicken. So, and my chicken, baked chicken tacos. So that's why I need all that chicken. Then David wanted sausage for his breakfast meat. And of course, Niece's is the only one. These thin corn tortillas, which I didn't point anything out because I got some freezer stuff. And then I've still got to run Harris Teeter. And I just need to get this done while Sebastian's being good with Papa. But these are for my baked tortillas, corn, oh my gosh, my baked chicken tacos. And then I need a bag of potatoes because we're having cream potatoes and baked potatoes. I was out of onion powder and garlic powder almost to the bottom, so I figured I better stock up on those. And I am going to use this mild taco seasoning in with my chicken to go on those. And I need some noodles because that's what we're going to serve our creamy chicken over. And then the greens. Food Line is the only place I can find the mixed frozen greens. So I needed to replace those in my freezer. Now let me show you. The rest of it is party. So if you've been sticking with me week to week, you know every week I have bought a little bit more party stuff because I told him I wasn't going to slam him with it all in one week. So every week I've been getting a little bit more, a little bit more. Next week is just the perishables. So I bought, I think, everything shelf stable except for I went ahead and got the crescent rolls while I was there. for whatever reason, I don't know. And then the rest is perishable. So Pepsi and Cheerwine, because we like the Pepsi and the Cheerwine. The orange and the orange sherbet is for our punch. So is the pineapple juice, because we're a family that likes punch. We just like punch. The chips and corn tortillas, crescent rolls, some chocolate pudding, and the addictive Muddy Buddies. So that is it for Food Line. I'm going to put this stuff away and head to Harris Teeter, and that's what we'll see next. Okay, now for our Harris Teeter, it's not a big haul, but the first thing you can't see over here is a freshette of frozen pizzas, the brick oven. These are mine and David's favorite frozen pizzas, and that's going to be our eat out treat for the weekend. We might get some wings or something to go with it, but since that's my pointy day, I figured that's what we'll have. And then I remembered eggs this week, and some bread. They had to substitute. They didn't have Sara Lee, so he's used to eating the Nature's Own, so they substituted that. And then I was out of the rice vinegar from something I cooked the other day. I needed chili powder, and the part skim ricotta is for my lasagna soup. Harris Teeter now has the Lakanto. That's the same size, I think, the 8 ounce, 8.29 ounce that they sell on their website, and I didn't have to pay shipping, so it was still like $6, but that's pretty much the going rate if you want to use it. And then the crushed tomatoes were buy 2 get 3 free, so they come out to $1 a piece, and I wanted to have those on hand, so when I make the 0 point marinara in the crock pot, I'll already have that, and $1 a can. That's a good deal. And Fermano's is a good brand. And I was out of pinto beans, so I got 2 bags because that just can't happen. And David wanted the sausage, which is the niece's, and I wanted the liver mush, which is the niece's. Then they had their cheese. Luckily, their cheese was on sale, and I needed Parmesan for the lasagna soup, and I just got 2 sharp cheddars for David because I have my cheese, and then he has regular cheese, and he was out of that. Then they had this private selection coffee, buy one get one free, so that's what I got this week. And then he needed raisin bran, which luckily it was on sale too. Now for my salad, I went ahead and got this green leaf that is washed and ready to go. All I gotta do is just chop it up. So I just decided to get a time saver this week. And 3 carrots. One is for, I think, the soup, or 2 for the soup, and 1 for maybe the lasagna soup. I don't remember. Anyway, I need 3 carrots. And then the leeks, I needed a pound of leeks, which I guess that worked out to be 2 for the leek soup. And that is it. Of course, my good smelly toilet tissue. And that is it for Harris Teeter, and that is it for the week.